Selling your used items on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or Nextdoor can be a great way to make a little bit of extra cash. But I've seen people make the same mistakes over and over again. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 8 mistakes you should avoid when you're selling your used items. The first one, and I think this is the biggest, is just being impatient. You have to give it some time. Let's be honest, that thing you're trying to sell has probably been sitting in your basement for a long time. You can deal with it for another week. A great example of this was my daughter's desk that I sold recently. It was too small for her and we needed to get something new, and I had listed it on Facebook Marketplace, and I got lots of messages, but nobody seemed to want to come get it. And then I got a message from a lady and she wanted to Venmo me the money before she even came to get it. She wanted it so bad. And when she came to pick it up, she explained to me that the desk matched her daughter's bedroom set. And she was just so excited when she found it. The right buyer came along. It just took a few days. And she was happy, I was happy. It was a great situation. I'm glad I was patient. The next mistake that so many people make is choosing the wrong price. I've been doing this a long time, and I have a few rules of thumb that I use when I'm pricing used items. First, I look at what the retail price of it is. If I went to buy something similar at a store today, what would the price be? And I think a lot of times a good used price is somewhere between 25 to 50% of that retail price. 50% would be for something that was like new condition. 25% would be like normal used condition. It had a little bit of wear and tear, but still in good shape. But you do want to adjust that a little bit based on the demand for that item. Some items, of course, are in much more demand than others. I have found that things that are necessities in a house often sell a little better than things that are just decorative or wants. So things like a bed, a dining room table, or a couch, those are things that everyone needs in their house. So those items sell better than, a painting for your wall. If you put a good price on it because you followed my rules of thumb, there's no reason to bargain in the first day or two. Give it some time and see if someone will pay full price. If you're liking these tips, I'd love it if you left me a comment down below. Tell me about what you're getting ready to sell. Or if you don't have anything that you're getting ready to sell, tell me about anything. Comments help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and I'd really love it if you left me a comment. Tell me about cookies. I love cookies. I can always talk about cookies. The next mistake that I see all the time is low quality photos. You really need photos that are clear and well lit so people can just see the item and know if they would like to buy it. You also want to include pictures from all the different angles and close-ups of anything important. Next mistake goes along with that, and that is bad backgrounds in photos. Whether you like it or not, people are judging you and judging your house when they're looking at your photos of an item for sale. If they see literal trash in the background, they are not going to want to buy that item. People want to see that your house looks clean. And even if you just have a blank wall, that's all you need behind the item. I would also recommend taking pictures of the item where you would use it. For example, I'm working on selling some bedroom furniture right now, and I took pictures of it in my daughter's bedroom before I took the furniture apart. If you take the furniture apart and move it into your garage, and then you try to take pictures in the garage, nobody wants to buy bedroom furniture that's been sitting in the garage. You're gonna find that you're gonna get a lot higher price if you take a picture of something in use and looking nice as opposed to taken apart or sitting in a garage. The next mistake is not listing it in local groups. Now this applies specifically to Facebook Marketplace, but when you list an item, you'll see that you can also list it in specific local groups. So you list it on the general marketplace, and then you can check boxes to list it in buy and sell groups that are local to your area. And it will suggest ones that you can list it in. You do have to be a member of that group in order to list it. So you might have to join the group and you may have to wait a little bit to get accepted. Next is leaving out important information. You're just gonna waste your time and the buyer's time if you don't include things like measurements, model numbers, whatever's gonna be relevant to the buyer of that item. Just include them up front because you know people are going to ask for them. And that'll keep your messages to people who actually are interested in that specific item. Don't forget to also write down what is included and not included, especially if there are other things in the picture that people might think you're including with the item. The final mistake that I see all the time is not communicating like a real person. Especially on Facebook, they have automated replies that you can just click the button that says, yes, it's available. I have found I get so much better response when I actually write a real message. So for example, when I was selling my daughter's desk and I got all these messages about it, I finally started writing messages that said, yes, it's still available. There are lots of people interested, but nobody seems to want to come pick it up. Would you like to come pick it up? And guess what? A lot of times they'll say, yeah, I can be there in an hour. And it works out so much better. On both sides, it's just more pleasant if everyone communicates like a real person instead of like a robot. I'll see you in the next one.